how I got my body back after baby. Welcome back to LiveLeanTV for women. I'm your host, Jessica Guthrow, helping you get and stay lean 365 days a year. You guys know I just had a baby 5 months ago, and if you've been following me throughout my pregnancy, you know that I stayed fit while pregnant using my Live Lean pregnancy workout and nutrition program. So I'm sure it comes as no surprise that I've been staying fit and writing another program postpartum. I wanted to share my postpartum journey with you because I get a lot of questions about how I got back in shape so quickly after pregnancy. Right around the 3rd or 4th month postpartum mark, I felt like I was pretty much back. And I say pretty much because I definitely lost some muscle and strength since I hadn't been weight training as intensely during that entire 9 months of pregnancy. But as far as fat loss and weight loss are concerned, I am actually at my lowest weight right now, even lower than I was before I got pregnant. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of tips on how I lost the baby weight and what you can do to snap back in shape if you've just given birth. So the first thing, and I think the number one thing that I did that helped me get in shape so quickly postpartum, is that I was at my goal fitness pre-conception. And no, I understand that not everybody conceives when they're ready or on purpose, but the best thing you can do for yourself to set your future self up for success is to reach your goals before you get pregnant. This just makes everything easier. Having a fit body during pregnancy makes the pregnancy easier on you, and it makes the recovery so much faster. So if you're watching this and you plan on getting pregnant in the future, I really urge you, right now is the time to get fit before you start having children. Don't wait until after. It's much easier if you get fit and get yourself in the best shape of your life before you conceive. I really hope that you wouldn't think that it's a waste of time, because pregnancy does not ruin your fitness. Because when you're pregnant, you just forget about fitness and just eat whatever you want. That's not the way pregnancy should be. You can still eat healthy and work out throughout your pregnancy, and I hope that you will. The second thing that I did that I think really helped me get back in shape was I allowed enough time for recovery. And I know if you guys have been following my Instagram, my YouTube, you saw that I've been doing workouts with baby ever since she was like about 7 days old is when I started doing light, gentle things. I would do a couple of glute bridges and some kickbacks, and I would go for neighborhood walks, light stuff like that, even as soon as the first week after. But I really took about 6 full weeks, which is what your doctor's probably going to recommend to you, after giving birth before you start like hitting the weight room really hard. And even then, I slowly built back up to my previous fitness level. So it's really important that you avoid injury at all costs. And when you're pregnant, your joints and your tendons, they get a little bit looser and your muscles get a little atrophied. So you just need to know that whatever way you were working out before pregnancy is not going to be the same immediately after. It takes at least 6 to 8 weeks, especially if you had a cesarean section, before you're ready to really work out hard again. You really don't want to make the mistake of going back to high intensity workouts immediately after your birth and then injuring yourself and then causing a longer recovery time. So I think that's one of the things that helps you get back quicker, is if you allow that slow recovery, and then by the time you're 2 months or 3 months postpartum, you can really be working out hard again. And the third thing is that I made plans. Instead of just winging it and just working out however I want, whenever I feel like it or whenever I get the opportunity, I planned that I was going to start with 3 days of workouts per week, then bump it up to 4, then bump it up to 5. And I strategically figured out, what kind of exercises I would do at each workout so that I would have a really balanced overall week. So this is important. That way you don't go to the gym and do the same thing every time, and you also never go more than 3 days without having a workout. You definitely need to schedule fitness into your routine if you want to make it a lifestyle and make it consistent. And the consistency is where you really start to see the results. I totally get that as a new mommy, your schedule does not always go as planned, and some days are easier than others, and sometimes you have a babysitter and sometimes you don't. But you need to be as consistent as you can be. And I know this is probably harder when you have toddlers or older kids around when you have a new baby, but the thing is, you do the best that you can. For me, shortly after giving birth, I realized that the best time for me to work out was gonna be like 6 a.m. when the baby was still sleepy, and I could just sneak out of the bed and go for a 30 or 45 minute workout early in the morning. So if that's what needs to be done, then that's what you do, instead of just complaining all day that you can't find time to get a workout in. You just might have to do a time that you wouldn't prefer. And the fourth thing I did was to get creative and be flexible with my workouts. When there were days that I just couldn't, that baby was being fussy, I just could not leave the house, and you know, I was nursing all day, like doing cluster feeding and stuff like that, I had to find out ways I could exercise with her. And so that's when I started creating different workout moves that she actually enjoyed, that were safe to do with her, even in that newborn phase. And that's how I was still able to work my body and get some activity and some movement, even on days that were more difficult. And the fifth tip I have for you is that I focused on the basics of fitness. This is one of the most common mistakes I see, is that people get all stressed out over the minor things that have little to no effect on your overall results. Like, oh, what supplements are you taking? Or, you know, how many minutes long is your workout? Or how high does your heart rate have to be? Or any of that like small stuff. The basics are you doing compound movements? And then when it comes to food, are you eating the right amount of calories for your body? And adjusting for breastfeeding if you're doing that, adjusting for weight loss if that's your goal. You kind of need to know like a ballpark estimate of how many calories you should be eating and how many you actually are eating. That way you can make adjustments and then either add or subtract meals or snacks to meet your nutritional goals. So many women, and especially new mommies, are often super confused on how much food they should be eating, and then they tend to drastically undereat, which really stalls the fat loss process. So don't be a chronic undereater. Make sure that you're getting enough nutrition. This will help not only you and your energy, but also your milk flow and your baby's growth. And as a new mommy, you have enough things to stress about. You should not make your fitness one of them. So take a deep breath, relax, just focus on the basics, and you're gonna get back in shape in no time. If you need a program to follow that really lays out the basics for you, tells you how much to eat, what kind of supplements to use, and how to work out, giving you ideas that you can do at home, just 15 minutes a day, you should definitely check out my postpartum program. It's brand new this week. It's called Live Lean Mom. So go to liveleanmom.com and check out the program. It comes with 6 different video workouts that you can actually do rep by rep with me and my baby Kyla. The videos are so darn cute, you have to watch them. I wish you the best on your postpartum journey and getting back into shape quickly, but also safely. Thank you so much for subscribing to LiveLeanTV. I'll be back every Thursday with new episodes for women. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. In the meantime, you keep living lean. 5 troubleshooting options to help you figure out what you might be doing wrong